Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is July 7, 2017 at 12:40 a.m. Birmingham. Topic is Agenda 21. It's everywhere. I just finished watching a lady, and I don't know if she was in Senate or if she was someone else in Australia. But they were talking about the Agenda 21, the date. She called a date now that it went in effect in the United States. And she was reading their Bill of Rights along with our Bill of Rights and their Constitution with our Constitution. And it's amazing how closely they're related. But she went there to speak before the House, and she gave them hell. And when she was talking about suddenly their water rights are slowly being taken away, she said it's tough enough with the drought we have, but when you take this main river that comes through multiple cities, and if there is a stream or a small creek that runs into this river, and someone decides, well, they can dam up part of it just for their livestock, which if they dam up an acre, that's not a big deal. That thing will fill up in no time. It'll stay full. But yet, the state, the federal government tells them if it interrupts 10% of the flow that goes by their property, then they owe the state extra. In other words, they're fining people who are using water because the federal government claims the water rights belong to the feds, not to the people. And the lady's hitting the ceiling about that. Well, let me tell you something about here. There's places in Texas, Colorado, Montana, Wyoming that you can go to, but you can't drill a well and have in excess of a certain number of gallons per day. It's not, and I mean it is not the 2 or 3 or 4 gallons a minute you would hope to pump. No, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 gallons an hour they will give you. And they watch you like a hawk, because I saw evidence of that in Nevada just the day before yesterday. And but let's go to Texas. Let's go and see what T. Boone Pickens did. They said he's wealthy. He's worth $2 million. Bull crap. He won a $140 million lawsuit on the wells that he had drilled because he bought the groundwater out beneath the state. I don't know if you know that or not. And yet someone tried to halt him and slow down what he was doing, and he's trying to pump water out from under parts of Dallas and Houston and, of course, other parts of the state. And he said, I'll take it to the highest bidder. I'll pipe it to San Antonio. He said those words. Well, guess what? When somebody tried to stop him, the courts awarded T. Boone Pickens $140 million. Jury gave that to him. He already had $800 million in the bank. Well, today his net worth now, they say, is $2 billion. And I don't believe that. I believe it's more than that, because he's an oil tycoon from way back, born in 1928. But this man, how in the world did he get under Agenda 21, but yet it applies to everybody else? I want to know that. And let me tell you something else, what a lot of you may not know about our country. The entire liberal, all this is just coming out, they have been communist for a number of years. That number of years exceeds 30 to 40 at the moment. It may be further back than that. And the liberal that has joined with them, they're communists, or they're young communists, they're socialists. But yet they all have the same agenda. Well, read Agenda 21 and you will know what they're all about. They're against you leaving a footprint anywhere outside of a city. That's why they want you to get out of your house, move to the city. That's why they want you to get rid of your car and take a bus or a train. This is why they don't want you living in the countryside, owning land, growing your own crop, because you're using their water and you're leaving a footprint that they don't like. Guys, look it up, but you see that they're already communist, and they have been for a long time. If you are not rich today off of your parents and off of their parents, and you're just starting out, if they have it their way, you will not get rich ever in your lifetime. Those days are rapidly coming to a close, so that the things you have, if you're not in the top 1%, then you're going to lose what you have. This is their goal. Spread your wealth, not theirs. Spread your wealth. And if you've heard the Pope running his mouth about the UN agenda, he says the same thing. He said, people don't need that much money, and the people that don't have that much, they may as well move in the city with the rest of them, just like they're doing all over communist countries today. All of them are moving to the city by force. What you're looking at, you're going to look at a cross between living under a life in North Korea and living under life the way it was in East Germany before the wall fell. Read both of them. Read how they live and pick the happy medium there, and that's the life that they have picked out for you. And naturally, there's a certain number of people that has to die. And when I say has to die, it's their goal to reduce the population of this country. Of course, the world too. And it seems like countries like North Korea and China are well on the way to doing that. But I got news for them. It can only go so far. The church will be taken out because things are about to become unraveled. They have begun. And this unraveling is about to ignite a powder keg that's going to change the direction that our globe is going in right now. But the church will still be taken out prior to that. You're not going to be in it. You may be in parts of it. We're going to have trials and tribulations. The rain will fall on the just and on the unjust. But that hadn't got anything to do with what we're coming into. We're coming into a purposeful time and state where you will be hurt, regardless who you are. But before the grand scheme can be fully implemented, we have to go. Think about that. They cannot implement what they want to, well, their heart's desire is become full-blown communists. Not for them, not for the 1%, but for the rest of us. Guys, it's coming. Wake up. See what's going on. We have a Democratic Party that's not Democrat. They're communist. We have liberals that are young socialists working their ways to that. But I got news for these young liberals. You're not rich enough to stay with the big boys. So you're going to fall in the category with the rest of the people that are left here. Think about it. When we're gone, you're going to still be here. So if you're not here after we're here after, you're going to be after we're gone. How's that? Jody Wolf, Expoz.